Welcome, guys. Oh, Jesus. Hang on. I've done something. So just bear with me one moment. All right. There we go. Jesus, what a bitch. Sorry. I had a major feedback thing there, and all I had to do was mute my speakers. God, sorry. It's been a bit of a shitty morning my side, but all good. We'll get into it. Okay, guys, thanks for jumping on. Hope you've all had a good weekend. And we're going to jump straight into some latest updates that we have. But before I jump into the updates, and before we jump into last week's results that we had, you may have noticed a little YouTube short that I created. Well, I used AI for the first time, which was quite new to me, which is crazy. My friend Robert, old Mr. Robert. But I've reintroduced the weekly $59 subscription. So, I realized over the last few days that a lot of my top subscribers, the ones that have been with me, the ones that are contributing a lot, have actually jumped on initially with a weekly subscription just to see what it's like. So I thought, well, I should really reintroduce that again, because at the end of the day, the right traders are going to be attracted to the DTB system, because obviously, it's the best system that exists. I mean, there's nothing even close to it. But I shouldn't be limiting people's access to it. Now, I have reasons why I did limit access to it in the beginning, because I had a lot of spies in my business who were from other companies, but I'll get back to that in another video. But, I've reintroduced this $59 plan because a lot of people, they want to take trading seriously. They don't want to be hooked into bullshit by, these marketing companies buying this $59 indicator that can make you $1,000 a day bullshit. They just want a proper system of tools that they can use to gain consistently from the market. So I've reintroduced this plan to attract more subscribers who, might not have been willing initially to lay out for a 3 or 6 or 12 month subscription, but just want to get in and experience what the DTB system has. And now they can do so at a very, very low entry point. So literally for $59, you get access to the entire DTB system. So I'm not like the marketing companies who sell their one-off little magic bullets bullshit. People get access to the entire system of tools, which obviously all the subscribers do, but at a nice low entry point. So $59, they get to experience, all the indicators, all the strategies, and they're able to jump in straight into the strategies. So very simple setup to get going. I know I haven't created a fast track type of thing, but I'm also going to be creating a new fast track, as you Americans say, fast track system, so that when people get started, they can, load up the tools, run the script, load up the tools, open up the game plan document, load up the strategies, and get going immediately. So that is going to be really beneficial for people, and then they can see what a proper system looks like, instead of, buying bits and pieces of crap from everywhere. So that is going to be awesome. I'm going to be promoting that nicely. I don't know how I'm going to be promoting it yet. I still got to work around that. I don't work with marketing companies and stuff because I don't believe in that. But I know the right people are going to come eventually. So I'm happy to do it as I'm doing it. And if any of my subscribers have got some ideas on how I can get this out to more people, just give me a yell. Okay, great. So let's, I'm not going to go much into the charts today. as you guys know, the signal charts are awesome. We'll jump straight into our results from last week. So running the game plan last week was quite an interesting week. By Thursday, if you guys have been following the chat over here, by Thursday, I was like, okay, well, this hasn't been a great week. I ended up basically making an $80 loss, a net loss for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the game plan strategies. And then I decided to run on Friday, and then on Friday, running the game plan strategies exactly how they are set up, Friday's results actually netted me $4,156 just for the day. Now, I was up watching the chart. So I don't normally trade Fridays, as you guys know. And it's a personal thing for me because, I'm generally, quite exhausted by Friday. I'm shattered. So I don't, I don't like to be up at all watching the charts. So I generally don't run them. And I always believe Friday is obviously the last day of the week. All the banks and institutions are trying to exit their positions. They're trying to get out. It's a bit of a John Wayne type of a day. But, if I get a chance to watch the charts, like I did on this last Friday, then I ran them and actually everything worked out fine. So, a lot of the time it does work out fine just leaving them, but I just prefer to limit my risk in that. But anyway, so we ended up on a very good week. And thanks too for all the guys pumping or, posting your results out. So Steve, thank you so much. This is running running the game plan templates for the week. A really, really nice return on that. So well done. And yeah, a few of the other guys too. I know some of you guys have been running your own templates too. So really good. I really encourage you guys to continue running your own templates. Let me just put my camera back on. I don't know why I'm not showing any charts. So I really encourage you guys to continue, running your own templates. So using the game plan templates as like a base to work off, and then, play around with some settings, create your own templates and run them too. I know Ali's been running a template that he's had for many, many weeks that he's, continued running. So really good. And I like how you have, you're just doing a slow and steady approach. If you can have 10 accounts, each making $200 a day, that's pretty awesome. So it's, obviously you got a lot more than that, but, it's really encouraging to see you guys, step out and run with your own templates and make the system your own, which is really cool. So, you got a lot of small accounts here, which is great. $25,000 accounts, you can grow them up pretty quickly with reasonably low risk. Even the $50,000 accounts, they're great. They're great to start off with. And like I said, you have 10 of those making $200 a day. Even if you're making that a week, imagine clearing. I know, how I am frustrated with these marketing companies bullshitting with their $1,000 a day story. But, imagine having, even making $200 a week off one of your funded account programs and then having 10 of those accounts. Imagine making $2,000 a week with a fairly low subscription to these funded account programs. That's a really, really good return. So, and you can obviously multiply that, and then you can eventually scale up on that, so really awesome. I think this is an amazing approach. Excuse me. Alan had a bit of an issue with his thing. That's NinjaTrader. Sometimes you're going to start it up and it's going to be like, what the hell? And then other times you restart it and everything's fine. So I'm glad you sorted that out. Apart from that, I think these were my results. Again, Alan sharing your results from the game plan. So just running the game plan MNQ template, which is one of the lower, obviously, micro accounts, having an account balance of like $2,500, these are the type of results that can be generated. So really cool to see you guys sharing that. Thanks there too. There's your Ali, your results again. Another day, $240 an account. What a pleasure. What a freaking pleasure. I bet you are very excited about being able to achieve that. So awesome. Well done. And then there, another day. Geez, look at this. You're really pumping it out. So, well done on working on your accounts. It's awesome. Love it. I love seeing this. This really inspires me to keep going, to keep making the system, better and better and better, and supporting you guys where I can. Okay, good. So that is the results. Now for the week ahead, we're more than likely going to keep the same templates running. I may go and edit the NQ, MNQs, probably just the NQ and the RTY, because they didn't perform as well as what they could have. So we might just look into that. But wow, while we're looking at that, how's the signal chart? How is the show me the money signal chart? Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so you may have noticed with the last assembly that I released earlier in the week, there's been a couple of new little indicators put in there. So we're going to just run through some of the little updates on those indicators. And, as you guys know, any new thing that is developed, any new indicator, any new tool is automatically given to all subscribers. So you're never going to have to go and purchase little bits and pieces. You're always going to get everything included in the subscription that you are paying. And, one of the most important things that I really, am proud about is that, some of you are saying, oh, you release a lot of updates and stuff. Well, it's great. Imagine buying tools and then never getting updates. That's kind of what Motorola did. They invented the mobile phone and then thought, oh, everyone's just going to buy this forever. And then the world moved on, and then, they fell behind, and eventually now they're trying to, gather pieces. So everything is moving. Everything in the universe is moving. And with the financial markets, there's always things evolving. So you can't just have a tool developed and then sold and then move on to the next thing. So you've got to be able to keep maintaining, updating, making things better. So I'm always tinkering in the background, making sure that the tools are current, they are refined, they are updated, they are, in line with the market conditions. So, I don't know how many of you guys have bought indicators from another company and never got an update. I mean, how is that even possible? So then some will say, oh, well, maybe they built it right the first time. Well, not actually, because the markets are always moving. There's always things happening. Things have to be updated. So I really pride myself in providing tools that are constantly being updated. And I'm always doing little tweaks behind the scenes, making sure that they are staying very relevant and, up to date, and making them better. I mean, every single thing can be improved on. I believe that every single thing that exists is going to be made better and better and better, as time goes. I mean, and you can see that with everything in life, really. So that's what I'm doing with the DTB system, and, focusing on a complete system, making sure that all the components are working as best as they can. And that's why you guys are able to see such incredible signals from these signal charts, because they're always being updated, they're always being, revitalized. And, one of the new little updates that we're going to be looking at, so I'm just going to go into one of these charts. I'm going to open up a new tab. So I will eventually save this as a signal chart. I have done it on my side. I just haven't released the stuff on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clear this all off at the moment. Clear out all these indicators. And then you guys can do the same if you want to follow along. So I'm just going to go to, I think clear this. It's not the multi. I'm actually going to call this volume analysis. Okay, so volume analysis. So I'm going to make this like a 1 minute bar. So 1 minute bar volume analysis. It's a good way to start. So if you go into your indicator settings and you pop on an indicator here called candle volume multi. So we've got the candle volume, which is the one individual volume, but now we've got a candle volume multi. So if you double click on that, now I think I've saved the template. Let me just check if I've saved the template. No, I haven't yet. Okay, so we'll do that now. So the first one is a 1 minute. The second one, let's make this a 2 minute. The third one, let's make it a 3 minute. The fourth one, make it a 4 minute. And the fifth one, we'll make it a 5 minute. 5. Okay. And I've got, 30. This is the amount of lines that I'm going to show on the chart. So 30, 25, 20, 15, and 10. And that's their spacing. So I'm going to click on apply and okay. All right. Okay, so I might just move this to a new window just because it's going to be better to have it separate. Okay, get rid of this one out the way. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so what this does now, there's a lot of companies out there that offer volume analysis. Now, as you can see from the breakout volume markers that I've got, and a few of the other volume tools that are built into some of the indicators, volume is a very important thing to understand. So what I've done with this tool is, I've probably done it better than anybody else can, is I've created a tool that can basically show you volume in a way that can be really beneficial to trading. So what you're seeing on the chart here, if you look at these columns on the left, that's obviously the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes. Now this shows you the specific volume of the candle that is currently on the screen. So the one on the left, the far left, that's the minute. So if I had to go to the chart here and put on the crosshair, if I put my mouse over that last candle and I hold the wheel in, it tells me the volume of that candle. So you can see it says 43, 45, 45, and that number is constantly updating over there. So when you see the volume number and it shows red, that means that the candle currently has that amount of volume and it's a down candle. Okay, let me just take off my my camera. Okay, so that is what this is doing. It is showing you, so as you can see now, it's 140 and 143 and it's green. The number is green. So that number is going to stay changing up until it changes. Now, as you can see over there, that previous candle ended on 148 and it was an up candle from the previous candle. So that's why the number there is showing a red, showing green, 148. And, because that's how it ended. It ended up as an up candle and the total volume was 148. Now, if I had to go and duplicate this in a new tab and I make this a 2 minute chart, okay, you will see that the second candle or the second column, that is for 2 minutes. And if I go and do this, it's going to show all the values of the second column. So that is giving you all the volume of all of those columns. And I can do that, for the third one also. Obviously, you don't have to go and do this yourself, to see what's happening with this chart. But I'm opening up these columns because I want to show you that each of these volumes are linked to a chart. So you only have to have this open on one chart, and it's going to give you a volume breakdown analysis of all of those specific time frames. And we'll get to why that's important in a moment. So we've done 1, we've done 2, we've done 3. Let's go and do 4. Okay, same thing over there. It's going to go to the 4. Now, as usual, if there's any questions, you can pump them in the group calls chat on Discord. Okay, so I'll be watching out for that. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go and duplicate this in a new tab and make this as 5. Now, we're doing this on minute bars because it's the easiest way to do. You can do this on DTB bars. You can do this on any bar type. So even any volume type, even if you're doing tick, bars, whatever, it's going to tell you what the volume is on that specific value that you are looking at. So there we've done 1 to 5. Okay, so now on the 5, you will see, that will be the column. So all of these values are telling you that, first of all, the bar before was an up bar or a down bar. So it's telling you that on a 5-minute, we're still experiencing a downtrend. 4-minute, we were still experiencing a downtrend or a down bar. But on the 3rd minute, the 2nd minute, it was an up bar. And on the 1 minute, it was a down bar. So that's just giving you the analysis of that. Now, what you can do, which, if you really want to understand volume, you want to look at different time frames. So if I'm going a bit too fast, I am sorry. It's just the way I think. But you might just have to load this up yourself and really have a look at it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into the indicator settings, and I'm going to go and load up another version of this. So I'm going to go to the candle volume multi. Now, as you will see, you'll see over here, it's got the horizontal shift. Now, the last one, which is this last column over here from the indicator, was a 44. So that the existing one that we have is 44. Okay, so as you can see, they just go up in increments like that. So this one over here, we're going to go 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, and what we're going to do over here is we're going to go 10 minutes, because we went up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now I'm just going to choose 10 and a few other values here, and you can obviously adjust this to your preferences, but I'm going to just work on this. And with the panel lines, I'm going to go and make these like 7, just to differentiate them. So all of these, I'm going to make 7. Okay, so they're going to basically show 7 panel lines each. Okay, so the first one's going to be a 10-minute. The next one is going to be a 15-minute. Next one's going to be 20 minutes. You can see where I'm going with this. 25 minutes and a 30-minute. So the reason why I'm doing like 30 minutes up to this value is because, this is for guys who want to spend an hour or so trading manually, and they just want to know what the overall trend of the market is. They want to know, what is the best likelihood of where price is going to go next? Is it going to be an up bar on the 30-minute or a down bar on the 30-minute? So if they want to make trades now, what is more likely to happen? Okay, so that's what we're trying to do over here. Okay, so we've done that. And like I said, you can adjust these values. You could even go larger values to start off with, but you can basically put any value in here that you want. So now that we've done that, it's going to load up. At the bottom, you can see that's all been loaded up. Now, I did try, unsuccessfully, I might add, I did try to label each of these columns, like 1 minute, 2 minute, but it was just a shit fight. NinjaTrader was just not working with me. It just did not want to work. So I haven't been able to label these columns, but once you've got yourself a system set up, you can probably put a chart label in the setting over here even. So I mean, even over here you can go to the properties like this, and you could type you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. You don't have to do this, but I mean, I'm just going to do it over here. 15, 20, 25, and 30. Okay. So I mean, it's not labeling the columns, but that when you look at this, that is what you're looking at. And that's also why I made the column length of these ones higher, just to split them up. So by looking at this chart, that the last column is 30 minute, 25. You can go on like that. So, and then once you've done this, I mean, obviously you can go and duplicate. If I go and duplicate this in a new tab, and you make this a 30-minute chart, I'm not going to go through all of the values, but say, for example, I made that a 30-minute chart, we will know immediately that the last column will be a 2-1. I should have duplicated this one, right? Not that one. So we know that the last column is going to show you, I'm going to make this a 30-minute. So let me just see, I don't know why this, I must just take the plots off. Actually, I don't know why, maybe I was doing some sim trading on here, I'm not sure. If I just reset this, it'll take away all of that. Well, I'm always doing things on here. Okay, that was supposed to reset that. Maybe I'm on the wrong chart. Okay, go back to the thing. Okay, well, that didn't work for some stupid reason. It's supposed to, maybe because I was trading on another account there. That's okay. I need to go into the data series. That's what it is. So data series, and I can do not plot. I just don't want to see that. So obviously looking at this, the last candle, you can see that there is currently a 2,252 candle, and it's currently a down candle, you see. So you can see the previous candle. So the 3 previous candles to this 30-minute were all down candles. So when you are looking at this chart and you want to see what what a later or what a larger time frame is happening, you can see that the 30-minute candles is currently down. So we're currently in a downtrend. So if you're looking at making entries on one of the smaller time frames, to wait for an entry in the direction of a larger time frame. Okay, so you don't actually need to have all of these these charts open. I just had them open just to show you how the thing is built. But now, looking at this chart, okay, that, the last candle is that. Now, you can go and make this any chart that you want. So you can even go and make this into like a DTB bars 2020, okay? And you can just go and load a custom range of 2 days. It should be fine. Okay. Do not plot. Okay, so the good thing about this is you've got all of those time frames built into the chart over here. So on all of those time frames that is currently the trend. So obviously looking at the last one, if you're going to be trading for the next 4 or 5 hours, you might want to increase those values. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from even adding on additional volume onto your chart. So say, for example, you want to add like a 60-minute. So you can go to the, I've also got individual ones. So you see, I've got candle volume, just the individual one, you see. So that's also there. So you can go and add on an additional one if you wanted to. You just got to make sure that it's past 99. Okay, so I'm going to just go to this one over here, and I'm going to go make this like a 5 for panel lines, and I'm going to choose this as a 60-minute. Okay, and I'm going to make this the horizontal shift. I'm going to make this 119. Let's see how that looks. Okay, well, you could make it even a bit closer. Excuse me. Actually, it was nice having it a little bit out. So if you look at that, maybe have it as a 119. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that is giving you like individual columns. But if you want to go add on another, a few, you can do that. But now that's telling you that the 240-minute, or it's showing you the 60-minute candle is red. Well, and the last one was that. So it's giving you an analysis of the previous candles volume, and then based on what you're seeing on that, you can make decisions whether you want to go long or short. So this is going to give you obviously a higher probability of trading success because you're working off larger time frames. And you obviously want to trade in a direction, that is, suiting the overall trend. So that is where this can actually help. And then you can also see where they're starting to shift, where the momentum is shifting. So obviously, because these are based on all different time frames, they're working at X minutes values each. They're going to be shifting at certain values. So if you go and load on like your main indicators, obviously one of the main indicators that we have to identify price action is our shadow trading indicator. So once you've done all of that, you can go to your shadow trading, your indicator over here, and you can apply that to the chart. So, then you know that, when you're getting an arrow like that, there's a very high chance that if you put your limit order, at the beginning of that candle, or even, anywhere on this candle, there's a high likelihood of that price reversing, because you are starting to see a shift now in where all those other candles are starting to show that they're turning into long candles instead of short candles. So you're able to pinpoint your entries a lot more efficiently because you are looking at different time frames. Now, obviously, if you're looking at the 60-minute, you might want to wait a little bit. You might want to wait until that turns green and then enter. But it's not always necessary, especially if you're trying to do some scalping trades and be in and out the market, enter 3 or 4 trades and be done within an hour. Then this is what you could be looking at. So I'm very excited about this. I love the the simplicity of it, because you can literally save this. I'm literally going to save this as a template. You can load it up instantaneously without having to go and load all these multiple indicators. And this is giving you true volume analysis. Okay, so as far as volume analysis is confirmed, this is as good as it gets. Okay, because you're actually specifically analyzing the volume. Now, so I think that's really awesome to work with. Now, with regards to the candle volume, okay, if I go into I might just, so that's pretty self-explanatory, guys. So if you're loading this up, and you're looking at, what type of trade you want to enter, or which direction you want to enter, this is definitely going to give you the best, the best chance at least entering, either a long a long position or a short position. And the shadow trader is going to help you with some arrows. It's going to help you with a few things. And then you've also obviously got your volume breakout. So basically what you can do is you can load up the show me the money template and then add on these different volume things. But we'll just do this manually at this stage. So if you want to load up 2 or 3 different volume breakout markers, they are going to give you also exceptionally good entry points into the price. So they're going to give you, even more defined entries. So loading this up. Now, again, these values can also obviously be adjusted. You might want to load a few different templates and see which ones suit specifically. I'm just going to load up the first 3. Okay, so these specific ones were predicting the initial downwards momentum. So, as the price was moving down, all those candles were down. They were predicting that downwards momentum. Now it's kind of where it is at the moment. So, these can definitely give you a lot more analysis into what price is doing by adding on a few components to this. So, but by adding the volume breakout, that's a really good way to look at it. So this is something that I would love you guys to look at during the week. Now, like I said, I'm going to create a proper chart template, so you could just right click on the chart and go load chart template, and it will basically just load that template with all the information on there. But it's also good for you to manually go and create this yourself. So just so you've got an understanding for how that works. Okay, so there's that. Now, so that is the full volume analysis when you're looking at minute bars. So now, like I said, you can apply this the same to tick bars. You can apply this to quite a few different bars that you are looking at. Now, there is a slight variance to this tool. So I'm just going to open up a new chart over here. Let's go to the N cube again. And let's load up the NinjaTrader bars. Okay. And I'm going to go. Ah, piss off. I pressed the wrong button. Damn it. You're kidding me. Okay. So NQ and OK. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at this other tool. Okay, so if we go in over here and we go into the indicator list and we click on the volume analytics. Okay, so this is another one of the volume tools. Now, between these two tools, we are covering volume on a crazy level. I mean, better than anybody else could ever dream of. And even the makers of this bar wouldn't even dream of being able to create something this fantastic. But we're obviously doing it over here. So over here, what we're doing is now I specifically created this around the NinjaTrader bars. Okay, they can also be changed, but a lot of people like this bar. I don't know particularly why. I don't think it's the greatest thing to work with, but it is a common thing that's been around for a while. But, this is also loading up different values of those bars. So if you look at 9, so the first one is a 9.3. So I'm actually going to make this like a 9.3. So let's just copy the same as what I've done over there. And we don't need to load 5 days. We can load 2. Okay. And I could make that a bit larger also. So if I go in here, I just want to make this text a little bit larger. Okay, I want to make the text a bit larger. Where did I do that again? Okay, so I've got 30 panel lines. Oh, there we go, panel text. And we're going to make this, let's make it a 15, just so we can see it clearly on here. All right. Okay, so 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So what this is showing here, if I activate my crosshair again, okay, so this is showing you the volume of that specific bar, okay, that is in positive. So if the price is above the open, this value is going to count upwards. So this has had 90 volume pumped into it since the price has been above the open. So as soon as the price drops below the open, it's going to reset that number and start a new bar or start a new line. So this is basically quite interesting. So if I duplicate this in a new tab and I go data series 9, 12. It was 12, right? 9, 12. If I go into the indicator settings again, come on. 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So 9, 12. So we're going to go 15. Okay. And we're going to go 18. And 21. Okay, so those are all the time frames that are loaded up over here. Now, in the indicator settings, you are going to notice that there is something that is called sync lines long and sync lines short. So what that basically means is that when there are 9 in a row values, 9 in a row numbers that are red, the bars are going to be red after that. When there are 9 in a row that are green, the bars are going to start painting green. So what this is doing is it's showing you the volume when the price is above its open compared to the volume of the price below that's open in a consistent manner. Now you can change this. So as you can see, 9, these bars have been red for a very long time, okay, because that is what the volume is shown. But if you had to go and change this, say for example, to a 3, let's go to a 3, because that is, if you look at these columns over here, you'll see there's green numbers over there. You will see now that these will start plotting green, okay? Because we've had 1, 2, 3, and now this is the 4th one. So like I said, if it goes slightly below the open, it starts plotting a new thing, but it's going to show you completed candles that have all been finished, where the volume has constantly been the price going up. Okay, so where the bar opens and the price goes up. So that is what this is doing. So it's telling us what this is. Now, obviously, having a 3 is not the best option to have, especially on a small bar size like this. But that is how the colors are defined, and that's how the colors are defined with changing the bar coloring. So I'll go back into this, and it's basically just picking up the trends of price also. Okay, so we are going to look at this 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We're going to change this back to, so you can put it on 9. I like the 7s. Okay, I like the 7s. I think that they are pretty awesome to use. So that's going to start plotting. So with this too, you also know, okay, well, when should I get into the market? Now, obviously these are green bars over here, but when you're seeing green bars and you're still having a trend reversal, you know that if the price breaks down, you need to get out of that position. So it's also helping you not, get into positions, or it's helping you get out of positions too if you need to do that. So that is how this specifically works. So if anybody wants to look at this, and as you can see, these ones over here, all of these are showing green. The bars haven't changed yet because it's waiting for 9 in a row. So all of these have a setting in them that you can basically go and adjust to determine when you want that to change. And I'm finding between 7 and 9, I think it's a pretty awesome value. And you often, especially with a longer term, you're going to see that it's going to be fairly constant with how they are plotted. Now, like I said, I mean, this is not the top bar that I would be trading with. I would be using this as like, I would have this information over here, okay, but then I would be looking to actually enter positions based on your on your DTB bars. I mean, you're not going to be looking to enter positions on NinjaTrader because it's not a accurate bar at all. I mean, the price opens halfway up, the candle. So the only accurate bar that you're going to work with is going to be your DTB bars. But the good thing is that you still have that. You still have that that thing over there. So you still got the back end of those over there, and it's going to plot there. Now you don't have to have so this is going to paint the color based on the settings that you put in there, and it's going to change the coloring of these bars based on those settings that you put in the NinjaTrader. So it's basically calculating the volume of up bars, down bars, and it's working accordingly. So then you can look at this and say, okay, well, this is a proper bar that you can actually make trades on, and you can quite comfortably make positions. So obviously you can see, look how accurate these are with buying and selling compared to this. I mean, this is not going to show you accurate entries, but this one definitely is. Okay, so you can see over here, you got your DTB bars, you got very accurate. I mean, there's no false ticks on these bars. So every single tick, every single painting of this bar is exactly where price was. Okay, there's no false ticks. I mean, obviously with the NinjaTrader bars, every one of these bars is showing false ticks. Okay, every single one of them, because the bar is opening halfway up. That's not the actual price. Okay, so it's basically showing you a false representation of price, but it can be used as a guide to determine the upwards volume, downwards volume. And because they open halfway up the bar and then they continue up, it's going to be upwards volume. So that's why I like using it, because it's giving you that information. But entering positions, you are going to be a lot more successful entering positions looking at the DTB bars and entering based on that. So when you're looking at this and then you start combining this with different tools also, and I always revert to the shadow trading. I mean, shadow trading indicator is probably, if you compare the shadow trading indicator and this tool, the shadow trading indicator that we've got, I mean, this one has even been given out complimentary. Okay, so if I go to the shadow trading, I mean, I've given out the shadow trading complimentary indicator. Okay, so this one here is exactly the same indicator that you guys work with in the group. Okay, and those who have learned to master it and have learned to work with its signals, you're not looking back. So I've had hundreds and hundreds of individuals download these free tools, including the volume, that came with this, and like their whole world has changed. Okay, so when you are trading the complementary tools that I've provided, if you cannot be making money off those, then you should seriously consider if trading is for you or not, because they are that accurate at determining price reversals and price trends. Why didn't that actually load? So they are that good at predicting price reversals, price trends, that if you just had to apply the right money management to it, you will be okay. So I'm not 100% sure why this hasn't loaded on this chart. I'm not sure, but I'll just load up the normal shadow trading for right now just to see what this is looking like. Okay, there we go. So that loaded instantly. All right, so now the thing is, the shadow trading is also going to color the bar. So you can go and choose now. You can say, well, I don't want the shadow trading to color the bars. I want to have the volume analytics behind the scenes coloring the bars, but I still want to see the arrows. I still want to see the arrows on the chart. So I'm just going to load the shadow trading for now. So now looking at this, you've got your arrows telling you that there's a likelihood that price is going to reverse. Okay, this is all that this is doing. When I came up with this idea, it was looking at price action and then being able to read a chart to determine where price was going to reverse without even looking at indicators. So that's how I came up with this. Looking with this indicator is basically looking at a chart with 0 indicators on it and having a very high consistency of entering positions and having them successful, and then think, okay, well, how can I show this clearly without having to put too much thought and effort into it? How can I show where price is likely to reverse? So that's why we ended up, creating something like this with arrows and divergences and stuff, because it just makes it visually accessible. So when you are seeing something like this, now you've got your shadow trading that is giving you, indication of possible reversals. Then you can decide, okay, well, should I wait until, I have green bars? Should I wait until I have red bars? Because this is going to give you indication of where price is likely to go. And now what I would say with this is, as soon as you get a red bar, with, after divergences, obviously depending on your momentum line. So your momentum line is your king too, right? Now you can see over here the momentum line is above price. So it's always going to be correct at the end of the chart. So like I said in the training videos, don't go and act on every single arrow that you're seeing, because you're going to get stopped out a lot and you're going to be screwing yourself. You have to be looking at what the momentum line is telling you. So that momentum line is going to be a huge factor in determining when you're going to enter positions. And when it is with price, it is a lot better when it is far away from price if you're looking for reversals. So, looking at trades like this, when you're getting the momentum line with price, that is when it's a good time to enter in the direction. And as you can see, it does change. You see that momentum line is like a floating momentum line. We haven't got any, we are not centering price on scale on this. Okay, I mean, there is, if you really wanted to, you could do that, but I mean, that is more for one of the other tools. But as soon as you have this momentum line showing you what price is doing, if you want to use the center price on scale, the other shadow trading indicator is the one to use for that, which is the DTB shadow trading 0 line. Okay, so that one there, if you want to use center price on scale, great for that one. This one over here, keep it as a free flowing momentum line. And the idea with this is, as soon as you're getting a trend in a specific direction, you can use limit orders on the top of where that bar was. So like this one over here, you had your first green bar, you're going to place a limit order at the beginning of that green bar so that it can run up. And if the price doesn't come and touch it, then you're just not going to enter that position. Okay, so this one over here, you put a limit order, the price went up, it didn't come back and touch it. But a lot of these, when you've got the red bars, you can put your limit orders at the top of a red bar like this. And then the next bar will come and touch it. And even if you're just scalping for a 20 tick target, you know, that is you're going to hit that more often than not. So as soon as you start seeing the bars in your favor, like again, you know, there's your first green bar, the price come up, you got your limit orders at the beginning of where that is happening, and you got your stop under that, you've got good scalping opportunities. So the same thing is, whenever you are seeing a change in coloring of direction, you're always you're not entering over here, okay? You're not entering at the close of that bar, you're rather putting a limit order as you are going at the beginning of that bar, and that's going to allow the price to come back down. Now, the price can obviously just run in the direction, which is fine. Then you're not going to be entered into position. But by having the price just come back and retouch that specific point, and then having your 20 tick target, that is going to hit. That's going to be beautiful. And if you want to go for a larger target and a larger stop, then you can even make this a larger bar. So there's no specific right and wrong on this. You can definitely experiment with larger bar types too. But then if you're using larger bar types, then obviously go and use larger, the NinjaTrader settings. But basically on any of these, by doing what I just said, is putting a limit order like this specific one over here with this green bar. You know, if you had put a limit order at the beginning of this bar, the price just came back and touched it, and it went up again. So, I mean, we were looking at the 20 anyway. Okay, so that is with regards to the new updates. Now, that's not all of them, by the way. So that is that. So this is something I would love you guys to look at, especially those interested in doing a bit of scalping trading. It's just a nice way of looking at volume. Now, I mean, this year is fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic, because you're getting a good indication of what the different volumes are. Okay, you're getting a very, very, very good indication of that. So your chance of entering a position and being successful with it are greatly increased because you're trading with the overall trend, and that is backed by the volume. Okay, I just want to duplicate this in a new tab, and I want to load this chart template. So before we move on, I just want to load up one of the chart templates that the complimentary guys are working with. So these are the tools that the complimentary guys work with. Okay, so if you are finding that you are being stopped out a lot, perhaps refine your entries to only act when you are seeing divergences and the marker left behind. Okay, so like that will be a beautiful example of that. So you're having a divergence, a marker is left behind, and a bar is closing below where the marker has left behind. So not like this one over here where it hasn't actually closed below, like the bar hasn't closed another bar below. You're having that. So it's the same with this initial marker. So at the beginning of today's trading session, if you load it up at 2020, and even if you load it up at 1010, now remember, 1010 is a very small bar, and sometimes it's okay for the Asian session, at the beginning of the Asian session. And even there, you are getting, you might be caught out a bit there and be stopped out, but you might just be on a too small of a bar size. But even if you get stopped out there, you have another opportunity to enter in the opposite direction and make good bank. Same thing over here. You're entering over here, and you got your stop above. You got good entry positions. Over here, you've got arrows facing up. The price is failing to break through the support level. It's coming back up, touching it. Why not enter over here as well? So there's a lot of opportunities to enter based on this. Look at this marker over here. Look at this support level over here. And this is the complementary tools. I don't understand how you guys are struggling with this. But you have a marker left behind, and then you have a bar coming, touching it, and you've got a shadow trading arrow to tell you, hey, this is a good chance. This is the price is struggling at this point. It's failed to break through and go ahead. This is a good time to enter. Beautiful. Same thing over here. Price has come back down to this level. It's printed a cyan bar. You're watching what price is doing. Now you've got green bars. It's like it's a no-brainer. You're going to go long. So, if you had to take multiple of these entries and you're not putting huge amounts of trades on every single arrow that you are seeing, but you are consistently just entering positions, and then you maybe even increasing your position size based on stronger signals. So if you had stronger signals, if you've got arrows that are right near a breakout marker line, you can go slightly larger on your entries on those, because that is proof that volume marker is very strong, because you've actually got a reversal arrow right on it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. And these tick values, I mean, this is specifically telling you that the price has gone up 150 ticks since this marker has drawn, and it's gone down 28 ticks. This one over here is a bit more central, okay, where it's gone 75 up and 104 down. This one over here is 27 up and 150 down. So the price has moved significantly from these markers. Okay, so the proof is there that they work, because those values are not going to lie, right? So, if you're finding, excuse me, if you're finding that you're struggling with the entries and you're trying to get perfect entries, maybe just switch to a slightly larger bar size. Okay, and then enter based on those instead. Like over here, beautiful example. You've got an arrow. The price has failed to break below. You've got a green bar. Beautiful scalping opportunities. Okay, so that is that. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you guys, if I just duplicate in a new tab, and I go, let me see if I've got the template on here. Oh no, I don't think I have. I don't think it's this one over here. 14. I don't think it's this one. No, it's not that one. Okay, so I'm just going to remove these indicators off here. So there's many different ways, and I mean, some of you might not like this specific way. Some of you might be too confused, or it might not resonate with you. I mean, we're trying to accommodate every type of trading style that people would like to have, or that have. I mean, you got your own trading style, and you have to basically find something that is going to suit your specific trading technique. So that is basically what the system allows you to do. It's giving you all different setups so that you can find the one that resonates with you and your specific style and your specific risk tolerance. Okay, so the next indicator, which I think is absolutely goddamn beautiful, which is obviously included with the DTB system for all subscribers, is going to be this other one that I've added, which is called, excuse me, the Gap Trader. Okay, DTB Gap Trader. Okay, so you load up this Gap Trader, and what it's going to do is it's working off the same technology as the shadow trading, but it's giving you more of a visual representation of price above the zero line, above and below the zero line. So as you can see here is the zero line, and there's bars above and bars below. You've also got these dots on here. Just give me a moment. Water. Good thing, water. All right. So also giving you a beautiful scalping opportunity to enter position. So, this is pretty simple. It's simple for guys to watch. You're looking at this. This is on a DTB bars. You can look at this on various different bar sizes, even if you want to go to like a minute bar, which I'm not like the most excited about, but I'll load it up on there too. So using this with your volume analysis, like we covered earlier, even if you want to trade on minute bars, you're making trading decisions based on the minute bars themselves, which, I mean, not the greatest, because you obviously have long bars and you have short bars. There's no specific way of determining exactly how far a bar is going to go. But that's certainly something that you can look at, especially if you're analyzing the volume of different bars. But if you are switching to, one of the DTB bars, and you're looking at this, like this, so you can be acting on these dots left behind, okay, as reversals, and then also looking at the coloring of the bars. Now you can go, I think you can go into the settings over here, and you can change. I'm pretty sure you can change the colors. Let me just see if I've allowed that. There's a few things you can change in there, okay? But what this is going to do is it's going to also plot these lines over here. So you see over here, you've got this dark blue line. Okay, so when those lines appear, there is a extremely high chance of price reversals. And it's the same with the red. So there's red, there's green, there's the line. So when you're seeing the lines on the chart, remember this is happening. This will happen in real time. These lines are not going to plot afterwards. None of the coloring of these bars, none of the arrows, none of the dots are going to repaint. That is how they are in real time. So when you are seeing something like this, and you are seeing these highly overboard, you're seeing red dots, yellow dots, and you're seeing this area highlighted here, there's an extremely high likelihood that price is going to reverse. Okay, so that is when you're entering positions, and then you're placing your stops and targets accordingly. And it might not even be a huge reversal in price. That's why you've got to have a good plan in place to take advantage of this. But even looking at something like this, you are noticing how the price is just getting little higher highs just to catch people out, and then they're going to reverse price anyway. So, loading this up, now if you had to go, this can obviously be fine-tuned for every instrument that you are working on, but going into the indicator settings, you can choose the sensitivity of how these are actually put out. So if you go over here, you can go and change these values over here. So if you go, let me just change these to 7 and 10, minus 7 and 10. You're going to notice that they're going to plot a lot more. If you make this a 5 and an 8, a 5 and 8, you're going to have a lot more of these lines. So you obviously don't want that, right? You don't want to have something that is too sensitive. So you've got to basically set it up on the specific, look at this manipulation that we had at 8:30 on Friday. Oh my God. Goddamn criminals. Okay, so look at that. That's crazy. Anyway, you don't want to be trading during those crazy news announcements anyway. So, you don't want your chart to look like this, right? You want to be able to look back on your chart and see where those indicators have plotted and where the highest chance of those reversals have happened, and then have your indicators set that way. So as you can see there, so, however however it is set at the moment, that is where, that is where they're going to perform the best. Now, it might be too sensitive. I mean, it might be too sensitive that it's only producing fewer signals. But again, if you're looking at this and you're looking for price reversals and you're looking to enter the market and you're looking for a change in momentum, having it set like this is a good thing, because as you can see, I wouldn't say whenever, every single time, but there's a high likelihood of 80 to 90% is that when this red line is drawn, there's a very strong chance the price is going to reverse, even if it's for 2 or 3 bars. Now you're looking at 60 ticks, right? Or you're looking at 30 tick bars. So you're looking at, if you're targeting 2 bars of profit, that is 60 ticks. I mean, that's a shitload of return. You do that fairly consistently. And I'm pretty sure you can even have sound alerts set up on this to alert you when those things happen. So you don't have to be watching the chart either. So if I look at the settings, I haven't tested these specific sound alerts out on the gap trader, but there are different sound alerts over here. If I look back, I might just have to review this. Activate sound alerts. Okay. I might just look at the code to make sure that the sound alerts are activated for when these vertical lines are drawn. Okay, I think they are, but I'll just go and recheck that. And it's the same with these red and these blue things. I mean, when that happens, you want to be looking at the chart and you want to make a decision. Okay, do you want to enter or not? Because that is going to give you a very high probability of entries. And it's the same thing when you're looking at divergences, right? So you're looking at higher highs over here to take out stops, but then you're looking at this over here and you are seeing that. So you also know that is a good opportunity to enter short positions. And then the price drops below the zero. You've got an opposing arrow over there. You know that if you're in a short trade, you should jump out of that. Okay, so I mean, yeah, that is what I've put together over the last couple of weeks. Been working on this. Obviously, these have been on the back burner for a very long time. This has been in the works for probably years. Okay, so I've got about 150 items on my list that I'm going through, and all of these little gems that you guys have the opportunity to work with, are constantly being updated and made in the background. And you guys have access to them as soon as they are available, which is very awesome. Without you having to go and look for different things, you actually can just load up some indicators, and especially with the chart template. So like I said, I'm going to add this as a chart template on here. As you can see, there's quite a few different chart templates. A lot of these work with the Medina Wick Trader strategy, as which is also being worked on as we go. But these work beautifully well. But these signal charts are going to continually be updated. I mean, some of these signal charts are absolutely phenomenal. Actually, most of them are. But I'll be very surprised if you cannot find 2 or 3 or 5 of these signal charts that resonate with you, so that you are able to trade it. And it might just be that you may need just a little bit of extra assurances. So that's why I introduced that volume analysis, because volume, as you know, is super, 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 super important. So you might be looking at a signal chart like this and thinking, okay, well, when should I enter? Okay, look at the volume analysis. Oh, great. Here's some volume breakout markers. The price is struggling to break through this marker being left behind. We are below the smoothing average, which is a very, very, very good tool. I mean, look how incredibly accurate it has been to determine, what price is doing when price breakthroughs. I mean, again, this is not repainted. These happen in real time. So it's giving you very high probability trading options. Okay, and this is the benefit of having a system of tools. If you go try buy bits and pieces of crap, none of it is actually designed to work together. What you're seeing on the charts here are tools that have been designed to work together. That's why buying little bits and pieces is never going to really make you successful. And I often wonder what the hell their plan is. You're going to have tens of thousands of confused, useless traders out there doing, who does that benefit? I'm trying to work that out still. But, you have a system here where the tools are designed to work together. And that's why you have a lot of the things showing you consistently where the support levels are, where the resistance levels are. And if you haven't worked with the Fibonacci levels, oh my God, that is something that you really, really, really need to have. I mean, that's as fundamental as volume. If you don't know where the institutions are entering positions and where their support and resistance levels are, that was the wrong one, then you're also trading blind. Okay, like totally blind. So I'm going to just load this one up here, and then we will get out. I mean, this auto Fibonacci auto trend is also awesome. I mean, it just shows you, it puts the price in a nice little channel, shows you the Fibonacci levels of that channel. It's a great little tool to work with. But the most important tool that I believe that exists in this entire system is going to be your Fibonacci levels, because you do not want to be trading against these levels. You do not want to be going against what they are saying. So here, for example, is the 4 hour 76.4. Look how the price came, touched it, almost, bounced off. That is an institutional level. The institution knows, they know these levels. Okay, they are working off these levels. Okay, so they're not just made, I didn't just make this up. These are highly, highly tuned tools to determine where the banks and institutions are entering levels. And you can see exactly how price can often just come and touch, break through, retouch, break through, retouch. That's happening all the time. All the time, levels are being tested, retested, breaking through or not breaking through. I mean, and even if you want to go to the minute bars, you can see these fairly consistently. Now, some people like minute bars. I think they're crap compared to the DTB bars. But even with those levels, even with those bars, if I take away everything else, you are still going to see how those levels are greatly respected. Not as accurately as using the DTB bars, because I believe the minute bars are the most manipulated bars that exist in the world of trading, and everybody seems to love them and use them. I think it's total bullshit, because they are extremely manipulated and they cannot actually be measured except for time. Okay, and whoever came up with all these candlestick analysis of hammerheads and dojis and stuff, it's the biggest con ever. I mean, totally. I mean, it's the biggest con. And people have bought into it left, right, and center. But, it's I don't know, it's crazy. But even looking at minute bars, you can still see where those support levels are, where price is bouncing off. But, if you can use the minute bars for volume analysis, because that is telling you, what the general consensus is of a specific, of that, that's also good. Now, obviously, this is looking longer backwards, but as far as you want to go back in the history of these indicators, you can see how these levels are being respected. Okay, this is a 5-minute bar, smashing through levels, bouncing off stronger levels, coming back down, retesting levels, retesting, coming up, retesting, coming up, bouncing off. I mean, it's all day, every freaking day. Okay, it's all day, every day happening. So when you're entering positions, you need to understand where these levels are. So like there's the 23.6, there's the 38.2, the monthly, there's the monthly level, the 38.2. Look how the price has touched this monthly level, came back, retested it, come back down, come back to the 4 hour 23.6. All of these levels are there to tell you where price is likely to reverse. And if it's not going to reverse, when those levels are broken, that price is going to run down. And if it's breaking to the next level, there's a serious push down. So, definitely use these as the cornerstone of your trading. And if you want to keep it very simple, now obviously we're very, very high in price at the moment. So a lot of the levels are below, okay, which is just how it works out because we are at extreme highs. So, but all of these retracement levels, like this gray one that you're seeing here, is just a 5 minute. It's 5 minute Fibonacci levels, okay? But then you've got the 4 hour behind there. You've got a few others there. So obviously going into the indicator settings, you can choose specifically which levels you want to be focusing on, which ones you want to look at, and they could be adjusted and removed over there. And we haven't even covered, the specific analysis of where the overall huge trend is. So if you go to like a DTB bars and you go into like 1,000, 1,002, and then you're going over, 5 days like this. For the longer trend traders, I just put that. But you want to see where the baselines are. Okay, where's the baseline for price? Okay, so that currently, if you're looking at the 1,000 tick baseline, and again, it's showing the the text and the markers, which you don't want to see. So, like obviously, the price has been trending. So, if you convert this now to a trending baseline, which will be a 2,000. Or 3,000 or 5,000, whichever values that you are working with, depending on what type of trader you are over what type of period, you are seeing, where this is. Okay, so like there is your trending baseline. So this is how the price has been moving over the last X amount of days. Okay, and you can see. Even if I go back longer than this, how long is this? If I go back, let's go 15 days as an example. And I've obviously chosen a larger bar size over here. But, since the 3rd of June, since the 3rd of June, the price broke up to a new baseline, came all the way back down. Now, obviously, it looks very busy here because we've got lots of Fibonacci levels. But as the price is trending up, it's coming and retesting levels. It's going up, coming back, retesting, coming back, retesting, going through, breaking up. And when it's got nothing ahead, it can fly. Okay, so, you might not be looking at this on an intraday basis, but it's good to know the overall trend. So as an example over here, if I take away all of these indicators, except for, or even I'll take away all the indicators really. Let's have a look. If I take away the Fibonacci levels and I just put a tick distance counter, or actually let's use the trending baseline tool over here, which is going to give us a percentage of how far the price is away from its baseline. Okay, so currently the price is 23% or just over away from the existing baseline, which is, 19,154. So the price is either going to come all the way back down and break to a new baseline, which is a hell of a long way away on this chart, or it's going to continue running the baseline. So, and then these baselines keep happening. Obviously, we had a very quick run over there over like 1 day, and the price gone up. But these baselines are good to look at. And even if you want to go for smaller ones for intraday trading, you can certainly do that. So all in all, an incredible system that you can basically make your own, working on different values and, suited to everybody's trading. So even if you want to go on like a 200 tick baseline, and you don't need to load 15 days, you probably just need to load like 5. That'll be more than sufficient. You could be looking at this chart. Okay, you could be looking at a 200 tick baseline, and then you could be loading up your indicator. I didn't save this one. Let me just save this one very quickly, and then we'll end the call. This has been a long call. I'm just going to save this template very quickly. If I go to the indicator settings, so once you've created your template, like we've done over here earlier, you could go and go to this one over here, and you can go save this as a template. Now I'm gonna create these as templates, which you guys will be able to activate later. 1 to 5 minute MINU 1 to 5 minute DTB TT00. So just now you guys will be able to save this. I mean, you guys will be able to, it'll automatically appear in your template list. Okay, I'm gonna go template, and I'm gonna go save, and I'm gonna call this 10 to 30 minutes. So 10 to 30 minutes DTB. Okay, so coming back to this chart that we were just on, you could go to your indicators now. Well, you wouldn't be able to do it right now because I haven't uploaded these latest templates, but you'll be able to do this later when you come back to these. So going to the DTB multi-candle, candle multi-volume over here. If I go template load, I'll put that in there. And if I want to load the second one, I can do that also. Okay, so now, I mean, it's very simple, okay? You don't have to know what a doji is. You don't have to know what a freaking hammerhead is, unless you love watching Thor and you think hammerheads are cool, total bullshit. But, you can load this up now, and you can say, okay, fine, I'm going to see, the price is either going to return to the baseline or it's going to form a new baseline. There's nothing else it can do, okay? No matter how many hammerheads, dojis, ball sacks, or whatever they're called, and I do know what they're all called because I studied the shit out of candlestick analysis thinking that was the answer, but that was many years ago, thankfully. With this chart that you're looking at, okay, with absolute certainty the price is either going to return to the baseline or it's going to form a new baseline. I mean, there's nothing else the price can do, okay? So looking at this, okay, let this load for a moment. There we go. So you know that this price, literally where it is right now, it's either going to return to here and continue with the baseline, or it's going to touch over here, which it almost did over there, which was on Friday, and then go to the downside. Now, obviously, the smaller you make your this is only 200 ticks. And for the US session, I would recommend like a 440 tick chart instead of a 200. But you know that's what's going to happen. So based on what you are looking at here, and why didn't this specific one load? I don't know why that didn't load. I loaded 2 templates, didn't I? I did load the second one. On there. Might just have to refresh it. But anyway, you get the concept, right? You know what price is going to be doing. It's either going to return to the baseline or return. So you've got to find supporting tools to be able to give you a good indication of when price is going to reverse. And you could be using that on a shadow trading indicator. You could even have a second chart available. You can even load on an additional data series onto this chart, which isn't advisable in the beginning because it becomes a bit busy. But you can make decisions based on what you're seeing over here and enter positions. Because like I said, the price is either going to do one of two things. Cool. I'm going to leave it at that. There was no questions in the chat, so that's fine. So thank you guys for jumping on. So important thing to remember for this week, any new members, if you want to jump on, it's only a $59 introductory, it's only a $59 subscription to get in. You have access for an entire week. You can cancel a day before it's due if you don't like the system, and that's it. So go from there, and you're not going to find something more supported and more dedicated than what we have over here. And one of the cool things that we also do over here is we focus specifically on individual strategies. So our game plan for the last 10 weeks is we have specifically focused on one automated strategy that has delivered us incredible results. We've created the game plan where people can just load up the templates and let the strategy run 100% automated, hands off. So, that is available to anybody who starts, and within a couple of days, within a few hours, can actually already be using those strategies and taking advantage of them. All right. Thanks, guys, for jumping on the call. Have an amazing week. I'll update the game plan a little bit later with some new templates in there if we need to update any of them. And thanks again to the guys sharing your templates in the chats. Really appreciate you guys doing that, and continue with that. That'll be awesome. Okay, guys, have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you next week, and maybe even before if I launch another video. Okay, guys, thank you and cheers.